What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jennifer Rush. And we're returning to Heart Over Mind, 1987. Thank you as always to Darren. And the next track is Love of a Stranger, which I suppose lends itself to the more physical, intimate type of interpretation, the idea of finding love, or indeed love making, with someone who is unknown to you, or at the very least only very recently known, and thus with whom you do not share a deeper connection or a long-time connection. Of course, it could be about someone who you do share a longer-term association with, but who, for whatever reason, remains characteristically elusive, someone who you can't quite pin down or understand who they are. I suppose it could be something beyond both of those possible interpretations, but those are the two that stuck out when I looked at the title. I'll try to catch what I can on a first listen. This is Jennifer Rush. The track is Love of a Stranger, and it's from her 1987 album Heart Over Mind.
It's a love of a stranger that can steal your heart. Beware of the danger when the passion starts. It's a love of a stranger when the darkness calls. 'Cause the love will hold your heart for ransom here till it's gone and leaves you all alone. Stormy weather at the border, passing birds within. So beware of words of honor, seem so close to sin. It's a love of a stranger that can steal your heart. Beware of the danger when the passion starts. It's a love of a stranger when the darkness calls. 'Cause the love will hold your heart for ransom here till it's gone and leaves you all alone.
So, yes, that's an awesome tune, and I say that probably qualifies as a power ballad, meaning it's a heavy emotional tune, but it's got rocking guitar, it's got forceful percussion, and of course her very expressive and powerful voice. And I love, there was a moment near the end there where I caught it in particular, and I was recently talking about this with Morrissey on some of the Smiths tunes, and I think I've talked about it in some other different deep dives as relevant. But when someone hits a line in the chorus differently the second or third time through relative to the first couple times, and I enjoy the way there was a moment near the end where she changed the rhythm or the pace with which she went through the delivery relative to her earlier articulation of the same line, which really serves to highlight or put emphasis on that line. It suddenly becomes this standout moment, not just because she flourishes her voice in a way she didn't before, but it like makes you take notice of that line particularly. And yes, so what I'm gathering is it is seemingly about a shorter term connection, but the way that if you meet someone who really captures your fancy and you hit it off with and maybe have physical intimacy with, you have to be careful because your heart can be held ransom by that love, or your heart can hold your love ransom. I forget exactly what the phrasing was, but the idea that you could essentially become unable to control the inertia or gravity of your heart because you're so swept up in this sudden and unexpected passion. And so you have to beware, you have to be careful, because your heart can be more influential or determine your behavior more than your mind. So it feels like this is actually a slightly different understanding or expression of the phrase heart over mind, whereas she said in previous songs essentially that if your heart feels strong enough, it doesn't matter if it's not logical, it doesn't matter if it shouldn't make sense, or if you should back away because maybe that would be better for you because your emotions in your heart are leading you. Here it's saying like, if your heart really is swept up by a situation, you should actually be paying attention to the danger, and you should maybe let your mind and logic in decision making come to the fore more, but the reason it's a danger is because that might not be easy to do. So it's in the same territory, but it feels like it's looking at the title phrase of the album from a slightly different direction. So I enjoy the concept album, as it seems, playing with different understandings of the idea of your emotions clouding out your more rational or left brain decision making. So yeah, I enjoy that. Again, maybe I'm not hearing all the lines correctly, but maybe it could be about someone who they know better, but because I heard like a line in there about liar or something, so that maybe ambiguates what I'm thinking here. But assuming I heard the general gist thematically of the song correctly, I like the way she's saying, sometimes your heart can be set on fire very suddenly by someone who is ultimately a stranger, but that itself represents a danger because you don't know about tomorrow. And I like the idea that she's saying at the beginning, like, there's no guarantee of tomorrow. She's under no illusions that this might become something long-lasting and permanent, but the passion is compelling her forward and compelling her into this intimacy, whether that's more overtly physical or not. So yeah, ultimately I enjoy her vocals, some moments where she's really expressive, not just in terms of altering the rhythm of some of her delivery, but the way she can just really extend. Speaking of which, there was that moment where she did an extension, and then it sounded like it was running again and again and again and again in the background, which really stuck out and was very striking in terms of the power of that moment sonically, with her voice suddenly jumping to the background and seemingly being looped. But it even felt like it expressed that emotion, this, you might be drawn or compelled by the inertia again of your heart and your emotional sentiment if you're not careful. So it felt like that was maybe a sonic representation of the danger of being drawn into this, what's the right word, like maelstrom of feeling and passion. So either way, another really cool one from Jennifer. Thank you again to Darren. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.